Grammar 4. Negative statements and adding emphasis. Negating nouns. Previously, in Lesson 1, we learned that we can use des after nouns to make affirmative statements. If you want to make a negative statement about a person, place, or a thing, that is to say something is not something else, we can do that by using the words じゃないです。じゃないです。じゃないです。じゃないです。When we use じゃないです after a noun in Japanese, it makes a statement negative. That is to say, it can mean is not, am not, or are not. So for affirmative sentences, we'll use noun plus des. For negative sentences, we'll use noun plus じゃないです。じゃないです。Also, as an extra little trick here, we can add yo at the end of a sentence. This has the effect of, well, being like a spoken exclamation point. It adds a little extra emphasis to whatever it is you want to say. Yo is a particle and is always sentence final. That is to say, you'll only see it at the end of the sentence. All right, let's take a look at some usage examples. うさぎです。うさぎです。うさぎじゃないです。うさぎじゃないです。私は学生です。私は学生です。私は学生じゃないです。私は学生じゃないです。豆腐は野菜です。豆腐は野菜です。肉じゃないですよ。肉じゃないですよ。鈴木さんは先生です。鈴木さんは先生です。学生じゃないですよ。学生じゃないですよ。魚は友達です。魚は友達です。食べ物じゃないですよ。食べ物じゃないですよ。We also need to note here that there are some different ways of saying is not, am not, and are not in Japanese. In addition to the one we've been focusing on, じゃないです, you can also use じゃありません or ではありません to make negative statements. The meaning is exactly the same, but the level of formality is what's different here. Compare. じゃないです is the least formal way of saying not in Japanese. じゃありません is a bit more formal, and for the most formal expression of not, you can use ではありません. It's useful to note ではありません is the most formal and is actually sort of a writing convention. Most people won't use ではありません in daily speech, but you will see it in written materials, in newspapers, and in books. Native speakers would only use ではありません when they're trying to be very polite or in very formal situations. It's not something you'll hear on a day-to-day basis in Japan. All right, let's circle back and see what our sentences that we just looked at would sound like in a more formal register. うさぎじゃありません。うさぎじゃありません。あたしは学生じゃありません。あたしは学生じゃありません。豆腐は肉ではありません。豆腐は肉ではありません。学生じゃありませんよ。学生じゃありませんよ。魚は友達です。魚は友達です。食べ物ではありません。食べ物ではありません。All right, in summary, you can use the phrases じゃないです, the slightly more formal じゃありません, or the rather more formal ではありません to make negative statements about nouns. You should use the particle yo when you want to add an emphasis to the end of your statements using a spoken exclamation point.